One well-known verse about the final Antichrist is how he will eventually sit in the temple of God and proclaim himself to be God. That verse is found in 2 Thessalonians and reads as follows: Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now, this particular prophecy has not been fulfilled since the third temple has not yet been built. However, we can expect the building of the temple to begin in the very near future, possibly as a result of the strengthening of the Abraham Accords next year. Coincidentally, I'm sure, Donald Trump is a builder, so I would not be surprised if a company connected to Trump will, in some way, be involved in the construction of the third temple. Somehow, his name will be attached to the project. But while we wait for construction to begin on the third temple, a lot of us are overlooking another, more subtle way that Trump does portray himself as God. And he's been doing it directly to Christians. Here's an example of what I mean, and it's from the Trump speech at the 2023 CPAC conference.
And if you put me back in the White House, their reign is over. Their reign will be over. And they know it. And America will be a free nation once again. We're not a free nation right now. We don't have free press. We don't have free anything. In 2016, I declared, I am your voice. Today I add, I am your warrior. I am your justice. And for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution. Not going to let this happen. Not going to let it happen.
The vast majority of those in attendance were professing Christians, and yet, despite knowing that the Bible clearly teaches us that vengeance belongs to God, they applauded wildly at Trump stating that he, not God, is the one who will seek vengeance on their behalf. Over the last few years, we have repeatedly seen and heard Trump supporters attribute to him characteristics that rightfully belong to Jesus, even referring to him as the Savior of America. But now, these Christians are becoming even more deluded. Trump claims that vengeance is his, and Christians who should know better nod their heads in agreement at everything he says. They want Donald Trump, of all people, to be judge and jury for what is right. And just over the last few days, we've seen how Trump does intend to take vengeance on his enemies, as evidenced by his nominees for cabinet positions. And yet many Christians are celebrating his choices because they've come to believe that vengeance does belong to Donald Trump. If you are a Christian and you're happy to see Trump back in the White House for a second term, when do you wake up to the fact that he's looking to replace Jesus in your hearts and minds? What does he have to say? How far does he have to go? When is enough enough?